Okay, so this evening we're just going to start with a short 5 to 10 minute meditation. Our focus for our meditation is just going to be our breath this evening, but if you're drawn to something in particular, if there's something that you want to meditate on, then feel free. If you're drawn to one of the energy centres, you're welcome to meditate on one of those. This evening's class, we're going to do some vinyasas. So I don't do them that often, really, vinyasas in the class, sun salutations. So we'll take it nice and slow, and we'll be holding our planks and our down dogs for much longer than we usually do. So try and build strength and stabilize the arms and shoulders a bit more. So if if we're in down dog for a minute or however long we're going to be in it for, if you really need to come out sooner, then feel free to come out of it and come into child's pose if you need to take a break. But you should all be fine with it, because it's all things that we've done before in the past. So it should be quite easy to follow. So just make yourself nice and comfortable, either sitting with the legs crossed, in full lotus if you want to, or with the legs straight. So use cushions, blocks if you want to sit on anything. If you want to put a blanket around yourself, you can do that as well. So just take a second to settle down into your seated pose and lengthen the spine. So imagine there's a piece of string just pulling you up from the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. And maybe just closing the eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. And just slowing the breath down. So just before you settle into your meditation, just asking yourself in your mind, how am I feeling today? And then whatever comes up for you, just letting that go and bringing yourself back to your breath. With each exhalation, just allow your body to soften and relax. Just letting the stresses of the day melt away. And then we're going to bring one hand onto our chest, and the other hand is just going to come onto our tummy just above our belly button. On your next in breath, you're going to try and take the breath down into the belly first. So feeling the belly expand like a balloon, and then take the breath up into the chest. Maybe the shoulders start to rise. And slowly exhale, draw the belly button back towards the spine. Relax the chest and relax the shoulders. Nice big breath into the belly. Up into the chest. And slowly exhale. Just really trying to rid the lungs of any stale air. And final big breath in, trying to make this one a little deeper and longer if you can. Filling up the lungs as much as you can. And then slowly begin to exhale. And with this final exhalation, just allowing the body to sink a little deeper towards the ground. Relax the hands back in the lap. And just return back to your normal breathing rhythm, in and out through the nose. If any thoughts start to come into your mind, just allow them to come and go. So trying not to get too attached onto the story that your mind is trying to replay to you. On your next in-breath, just becoming aware of any sensations in the body as you breathe in. Noticing the temperature on the tip of the nose as the air starts to make its way into the body. Noticing how the rib cage expands. And just noticing how everything starts to slowly relax on the exhalation. And the temperature of the breath as you breathe out through the nose. So just staying with sensations in the body for a moment with each breath that you take, just noticing if you can observe any new sensations with each new inhalation. If your mind starts to wander, just gently bringing your focus back to your breath. Just start to become aware of your surroundings again, taking your time to shift your focus from your breath back into the room that you're sitting in, becoming aware of your body in the room. Maybe start to move the body, bring some movement back into the body, maybe wriggling the fingers and toes, maybe stretching the legs out if you need to. And then just taking your time to open your eyes when you're ready to. So we're just going to begin by warming up our wrists a little before I move on onto my mat. So if you just interlace your fingers together and just start to roll the wrists around in one direction. And then change direction with the wrists. And then just releasing those wrists, you're going to take your hand out in front and just press the fingers back towards the forearm. So you're really pushing the heel of the hand away and you're pulling the fingers back. So we are going to be in a lot of down dogs and planks. So really important that we try and warm the wrists up. And then with the same hand, this time you're just going to have the fingers pointing downwards and you're pulling them back towards the elbow. So you're stretching the top of the wrist this time. And then just release and roll that wrist out. So keep changing direction with that wrist. And just being aware how it feels. So if there is any tenderness in the wrist or if it feels a little weak, just acknowledging that and trying to work with that throughout this evening's class. So we're going to come on to the other side this time. So bringing the fingers back towards the forearm, really pressing the heel of the hand away as much as you can. And then releasing, fingers pointing downwards, and just pulling those fingers back, keeping the arm nice and straight, and you're trying to press the wrist forward slightly. And then just release, and again, just rolling that wrist out in various directions. Enjoying any pops or cracks. Okay, and then we're going to come onto our mat. So we're going to come into tabletop position. We're setting up for cat-cow. So, wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders. Knees are stacked underneath the hips. So we're just going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and around the back, chin towards the chest. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and around the back. So just continue with these going at your own pace, using your breath as you flow through each movement, trying to make the head the last thing that you move. And as you transition back into cat, really pressing the hands down into the mat, trying to separate those shoulder blades as much as you can. And then as you inhale, just enjoying the stretch on the front of the body. And then whichever variation you're in, if you're in your cat or your cow, you're just going to come back to a neutral spine. So keep the hips fixed where they are, don't allow the hips to move, and just start to walk the hands forwards and bring the chest and the head down towards the mat. So we're coming into puppy pose. So really working into the shoulders. And just allowing the chest to sink down towards the floor. And then lifting the head, bringing yourself back into tabletop position. So walking the hands back underneath the shoulders. Start to tuck the toes and lift the hips up nice and high, coming into downward facing dog. So this is just our warm up. We're not going to hold this for too long. So maybe just pedaling the heels down, so pushing one heel down and the other, just releasing on through the backs of the legs. Keep pressing the chest towards the thigh and keep the hips up nice and high. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, you're just going to slowly walk the feet towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. So relax the head, relax the neck, keep the knees nice and soft, and then just take hold of opposite elbows. Just start to sway from side to side. Move the head around. And then release the hands from the elbows and slowly start to roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then all the way up until the head comes up flat. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. So we're just going to move through a couple of sun salutations. We're going to use these as our warm-up, and then we're going to hold our down dog and planks a little longer. So standing with the feet together if it's comfortable, otherwise feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the hands overhead. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, step back to plank, right and left. Lower yourself all the way down to the floor, so either dropping your knees first and then coming down, or taking your chaturanga, whichever variation you work with. Inhale into a low cobra, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back downward facing dog. So we're just going to hold here for a couple of breaths. So again, if you still need to pedal out through the back of the legs, feel free. Encouraging the heels down towards the mat. Inhale, step, walk or jump feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly come all the way to stand, reach the hands overhead. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, step back to plank, right and left. Lower yourself all the way down, either knees first or chaturanga. Inhale into the low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back downward facing dog. Inhale, step, walk or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly come to stand, reach the hands overhead. Exhale, heart center. So let's go for a hold on this one. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, step back to plank, right and left, and we're going to hold in our plank. So make sure that the hips are not lifted too high. Head stays in line with the spine. We're not sinking into the lower back. We're keeping the core nice and strong. Hold in here and breathe. Feeling strong in the arms, strong in the body. Keep that connection to the breath. 20 seconds to go. Exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down. Inhale into a low cobra or chaturanga. Exhale, push back downward facing dog. Inhale, step, walk or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly come to stand, reach the hands overhead. Exhale, heart center. We're going to come on to sun salutation B, Surya Namaskara B. So inhale, bend the knees, sit hips low, extend the arms high. Utkatasana pose, chair pose. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, step or jump back to plank. Lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Inhale into a low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back downward facing dog. We're going to inhale and step our right foot towards the top of the mat. So we're stepping the right foot between the hands. Now, if you need to help the foot to the top of the mat, drop your left knee and help the foot forwards. If you drop to the knee, lift the knee, plant that heel down so both feet are flat on the mat, and then come up into your warrior one. So we're bending into the right knee. We're trying to square off the hips as much as we can, so we keep pushing the left hip forward, but we make sure that the little toe on the back foot doesn't start to lift away from the floor. Sometimes the back foot can start to roll in, so we make sure that foot is flat at the back. Really bending into that front knee, maybe bring the palms together, or if you prefer, you can keep the hands open. Take a breath in. Exhale to fold forwards, step back to plank. Lower yourself all the way down. Inhale into a low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back down and facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward this time. So again, drop the right knee if you need to help the foot forwards. Drop that back heel down, bend the front knee and come up into warrior one on the other side. So again, keep pushing the right hip forward this time. Little toe stays down on the right foot. Take a breath in. Exhale to fold forwards. Step back to plank. Lower all the way down. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to stay here in our down dog for around a minute or so. Keep pressing the chest towards the thighs. Make sure you're pressing through the base of the fingers, really pressing the hands into that. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale, step, walk or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sit the hips down low, extend the arms, coming back into Utkatasana pose. So we're going to go straight in for a second round. This one's going to be a little stronger because we're going to do some holds in this one. So take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, step back to plank and hold in your plank pose. Hips stay low. Keep breathing. Two more breaths. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Inhale into a low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back down, facing dog. We're going to hold in our down dog. Halfway there. Inhale, step the right foot between the hands. So again, you can drop the left knee and help it forward if you need to. Drop that back heel down and come up into warrior one. So again, bend into that front knee. Bring the palms together if you can. This time, maybe take the gaze up. Feeling really strong through those legs. Take a breath in. Exhale to fold forwards. We're going to step back to plank and we're going to hold in our plank. Almost there. Exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down. Inhale into low cobra. Exhale to the toes, downward facing dog. We're going to hold in our down dog again. Halfway. Inhale, step the left foot forwards this time. So help if you need to. Coming up into your warrior one, bend into that front knee. Arms overhead, maybe bring the palms together. Take a breath in. Exhale to fold forwards, step back to plank, and we're going to hold in our plank. Last one here. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Inhale into the low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back, downward facing dog, and hold here. Exhale, slowly drop the knees down towards the floor. You'll be relieved. We're going to come in to take a child's pose. So just taking some recovery breaths, sitting back on the heels, arms come alongside the legs, and you're just going to bring the forehead down towards the floor. So just hold in here and breathe. So I would recommend to do the traditional child's pose rather than wide leg child's pose with the arms extended, just to give the shoulders and the arms a little bit of a break. Just enjoying this recovery time here. So just being here for a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly lifting your head, bringing the hands forward. You're going to come back to downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lifting the hips up nice and high. And then either walk, step, or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sit the hips down low. Extend the arms. Coming back into our chair pose. And then exhale, straighten the legs, coming all the way up to stand. We're going to inhale and step our right leg back towards the back of the mat. We're going to turn ourselves side on so that we're facing the long edge. So just making sure that the feet are parallel, maybe turning the toes in slightly and really activating the front of the thighs, just so that you're pulling the kneecaps up a little bit and the legs are nice and strong. Arms are going to come around the back, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the chest. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to fold forward and lift the hands up nice and high. So you're opening up the chest and you're working into the shoulders. So completely allow the head to relax. And hold in here and breathe. So with each exhalation, just seeing if maybe you can allow the muscles and the body to relax a little more into this stretch. Just a couple more breaths here. And then inhale, slowly come all the way back up to stand. So take your time, keep the knees nice and soft. Release the fingers and maybe just roll those shoulders out a little. You're going to turn your right toes so that they're facing the back of the mat. Left toes are going to stay facing the long edge. Arms come up to shoulder height. And you're going to start to bend into the right knee. So come into warrior two. So just glance down at that front knee and make sure it's not collapsing inwards. We want the knee to be right in the middle. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And we're gazing down the middle finger on the front hand. So make sure that both arms are up at shoulder height. So feeling strong in the legs. Nice, long, deep breaths here. Try and bend that front knee a little more if you can. And then exhale, slowly bring the right forearm to the thigh and extend the left arm over the ear, taking the gaze towards the palm of the hand. If you want to, when you feel like you're able to, maybe bring that right hand down to the floor on the inside of the foot. So have a play around with the position of that hand. Keep rolling the top shoulder back. Inhale, slowly bring your body all the way back up to center. You're going to turn those right toes in and take the left toes out this time. Start to bend into the left knee, coming into our warrior two. So arms at shoulder height, gazing down that middle finger on the left hand. Make sure that front knee isn't collapsing inwards. And just see if you can bend that front knee a little more. Exhale, bring the left forearm to the thigh or hand to floor, and then extend the right arm this time over the ear. Take the gaze towards the palm of the hand. Exhale, you're going to fold both hands down to frame that front foot. Step back to plank. Lower yourself all the way down. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale into a low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back downward facing dog. Just pause in here for a second. Inhale, step, walk or jump the feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly come all the way to stand, reaching the hands overhead. Exhale, heart center. Well done. So we're going to do some balancing. So find something to focus on. Shift your weight into your left foot, and you're just going to bring your right ankle just above your left knee. Start to bend the supporting leg and sit hips down low, hands coming to prayer in front of the heart center. So maybe you stay here to ease yourself into this balance and this stretch. It's quite a strong stretch for the hip and the glute. If you're able to, maybe see if you can bring your elbows down to the knee and to the foot. So you're trying to come into one line. So you're trying to level out that leg as much as you can. Make sure that you still gaze forward. So keep gaze forward and we're not gazing down at the floor. Hold in here and breathe. And then inhale, slowly coming all the way back up to stand, releasing that leg down. Shift the weight into the right foot this time. And bringing the left ankle just above the right knee. And start to sit the hips down low, bending the support leg. So maybe just pausing for a second, halfway. Just seeing how it feels on this side compared to the other side. And if you're able to, maybe bringing those elbows down towards the knee and the foot. Maybe see if you can sit hips down a little more. Maybe bend the supporting leg more. And then inhale, slowly come all the way back up and releasing that leg down. Nice, well done. So we're going to take a fairly easy, say easy, it depends if you find balancing easy or not. So we're going to take our tree pose because it's the 1st of December and I'm looking at my Christmas tree in front of me in the studio. I should have put the camera the other way so you could see it. So it's helping me focus with my balance because I'm using the fairy lights. So if you're at home thinking, oh, I'm really good at balancing, it's because I've got fairy lights in front of me to focus on the thing. So back into the left leg with the weight. So shift the weight back into the left leg. And then you've got a couple of options. So you can either bring your right toe to the floor and the heel on the inside of the leg, if you're still working on your balance. You can bring the foot up onto the calf, or you can bring it all the way up onto the inside of the thigh. So decide where you're going to go with that foot. And then just bringing the hands in front of the heart centered into prayer. So giving yourself a chance to settle into the pose. Really pulling the belly button towards the spine, so keeping the core nice and strong. And then maybe, if you feel steady, see if you can extend the arms overhead. Maybe open out the hands. And maybe start to bring some movement in, so bring one hand down. And the other hand. And if you want to really challenge yourself, maybe see if you can close your eyes. And then slowly bringing the hands together back in front of the heart center. You're going to bring the knee in and lower the leg all the way down. So you're going to come onto the other side. So shift the weight into the right foot this time. Decide where you're going to go with that left foot. So either ankle, calf, or up onto the thigh. So ideally, if you can, you want to try and bring the foot to the same place that you took it on the previous side. And then the hands just come into prayer in front of the heart center. So take a moment to settle into the pose. And then slowly extend the arms overhead. Taking your time, maybe opening out the hands. And maybe bringing some movement in, so bringing one hand down. And then the other hand. And you can continue with this if you want to, if it feels good, but it feels like it's challenging you at the same time. Or you can bring those hands to stillness and maybe close the eyes if you want to. See how long you can do it with the eyes closed, maybe. Well done, good effort. And then just slowly bringing the hands together, back in front of the heart center, close the knee up and lower the leg down. Well done. So we are going to do just one more balance because we've done a lot of strength, I feel, in the arms with the holds. It's surprising how strong the plank and the down dog holds can be. So we are working the legs a little more just so that we're balancing it out a little. So we're going to do eagle balance to see how you get on. And it depends with this one how tight your hips are. It determines how deep you can go into the balance. So we'll have a practice, and then you can practice in your own time if you need to. So you're going to keep the knees nice and soft. We're going to shift the weight back into the left leg, and you're going to cross the right leg over the top. So you're really squeezing those thighs together, and you're trying to get the toes wrapped around the back of the left ankle or the left calf. Arms are going to come in front of the shoulders. I'm going to wrap our right arm underneath the left arm, bringing the palms of the hands together. So we're bending our supporting leg, feeling strong in that leg, keeping the elbows lifted, squeezing as much as you can. So really squeezing those thighs. You don't want any daylight getting through those legs. Keep breathing, holding for a few more breaths. And then slowly release. Well done. So shake it out if you need to. It can be quite strong in that supporting leg. And then final one, shift the weight back over into the right leg this time. So knees are nice and soft. Let's cross the left leg over the right leg. So really squeezing those thighs as much as you can. Trying to get those toes wrapped around the back of the calf or the ankle. Arms come at shoulder height. And we bring our left hand this time, left arm underneath the right arm. Palms together. Lift the elbows high. And try and sit a little deeper if you can. So nice deep breaths. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Just holding for a couple more breaths here. And then slowly release. Release the legs. Shake them out if you need to. Well done. Much steadier on that side. So we're going to come to sit down on our mat. Let's take a forward fold. So the legs are out in front. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, reach as far as you can. Rest the hands wherever they land. Relax the head, relax the neck. So we're just releasing the back of the body. So nice deep breaths. And then slowly coming all the way back up to center. We're just going to take a twist. So you're going to come to sit on your left hip with the legs coming over to one side. And we're going to bring our right leg across. So sole of the foot is down on the floor and we're hugging the right knee in nice and close. And then the right hand is going to come just behind and we're going to hook our left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. We're pushing into that leg and we're taking the gaze back over the right shoulder. So really pushing, getting a nice deep twist. And maybe going a little deeper on the exhalation. And then slowly release. We're going to release the leg and we're going to come on to the other side. So coming to the right hip this time. We hug the left knee in, sole of the left foot is on the floor. Left hand comes behind and we're hooking the right elbow on the outside of the thigh, really pushing into that leg so you can gaze back over that shoulder. And slowly releasing and twisting. And you're going to come straight down into your Shavasana. So if you want to put on any layers, if you feel chilly now that we've slowed it down a little, pop a jumper on or grab a blanket, whatever you need to, woolly socks. And you're just going to come to lay down on your mat. So just straightening the legs out, bringing the arms alongside the body, palms facing up. Just tucking the chin slightly just to lengthen through the back of the neck. And closing the eyes. Maybe just taking a moment here just to take a nice big breath in, fill those lungs up as much as you can, and then really sighing the breath out through the mouth. So just allowing everything to completely melt away and relax into the mat. And then maybe just wriggle the jaw from side to side, so just releasing any tension from the face. Relax the forehead. And just finding complete stillness here for your final relaxation. Just slowly start to wriggle your fingers and toes. Maybe moving the head from side to side. Just bring some movement back into your body as though you're waking up from a deep sleep. Maybe taking a big stretch. And just taking your time to roll onto your side when you're ready to. Maybe bring the knees into the chest first, giving yourself a hug. And then you're just going to ease yourself back up to seated. Bringing the palms of the hands together in front of the heart center. Gently bowing the head. Namaste. Thank you so much.